visitors. Three visitors were injured last week at a Tennessee museum devoted to the Titanic when an artificial iceberg collapsed. The offending display was later removed, rendering homeless dozens of cardboard polar bears. That last part may not be right, but it sure as hell is technically correct. Hey everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. We're Geeks Who Drink, and here's how this is gonna work. In our first round, our director AJ will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives, and we panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of the 2 minutes, we'll decide on our final answer and AJ will tell us if we're right. Lather, rinse, repeat. Sorry, there's a dog behind me. He's being very loud. If you're watching this live, we're watching the chat. Please chime in if you have anything witty or interesting to say about the question. Just do whatever, but please don't shout out the answers. We can be wrong all by ourselves. Thank you very much. Before we get started, let's meet the panel. Here's the lady we call Doc Pop, Leah Popolinsky. The guy we call Pop Rock, Naim Siddiqui. And over there is Eric, and he knows what he did. I'm Nicole Holiday, and I also have a cool nickname, which I will not share with you. Without further ado, AJ, give us our first question.
Our first question of the evening. Some episodes of Blue's Clues featured actress Marlee Matlin teaching the basics of what language?
Esperanto.
That would be amazing.
I know. You know, although it's supposed to be a universal language, I don't think I've ever heard it.
That's because it's fake.
Is it fake if William Shatner does a movie in it?
But most of us have heard Klingon, right?
Yeah, well, it's all Klingon is also fake.
Exactly. So we've heard Klingon. How come we've never heard Esperanto?
So, you know, I don't want to put on my day job hat too early today, but here we are. You asked me about, you said Esperanto. It's a constructed language that was made by people who were like, you know what, we need a language that everyone can speak, and we'll just make it suspiciously like Latin. Except for take out the parts that we think are hard because we're largely English speakers, and that'll be great. It'll just be like a language that everyone will learn. But there are hobbyists who speak Esperanto, but there is no like set of people. And the Esperanto hobbyists, as I understand it, are less serious than the Klingon hobbyists.
What about the Na'vi hobbyists? Where do they rank?
Yeah, I think they had a moment, but the moment has passed.
It might be coming back. There's 4 more Avatar sequels in production right now.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Right? And your life is clearly better for knowing.
That's not the Avatar anyone cares about at this point.
It's true. That's also got things in the production though too. So
it took me a long time to tell the difference between
I can't
the
wait
blue
until
people
M.
and
Night
the
Shyamalan
Airbender.
makes his next one.
the first one, you mean?
Yeah, that one.
So I guess the Na'vi language isn't like a Smurf language where they just insert Na'vi in random places.
Smurferation, and Smurf.
Yeah.
Do we know Marlee Matlin?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is it some Star Wars Trek?
No.
No.
Game of Thrones?
No. She is most likely speaking sign language.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
American Sign Language.
American
presumably.
Sign Language.
Why does
yes.
everyone know her but me?
She's the
Have you
most
not watched
famous
the L
deaf
Word?
actress, I would say.
Oh, the L word. That's
She was
okay.
she was also on The West Wing, and there's a movie with her right now on Apple TV Plus called Coda, Child of Deaf Adults.
Oh, I heard that was
I
good.
haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's good as well.
Technically
Okay.
correct, not sponsored by Apple TV.
Not sponsored by Apple TV.
All right. So I guess we're gonna go with American Sign Language.
It is American Sign Language.
Yay. Thanks everyone but me.
Children of a Lesser God, is that the name of the movie that she?
Yeah, I
okay.
think so.
I think that's what it
Yeah.
is.
All right. Can we have another question that perhaps I will be useful for?
Sure, your next question. To better dispose of the little pyros, Smokey the Bear usually carries what tool?
Dispose of. That feels very
Sinister.
So Smokey the Bear.
yeah.
What are you? Are we
Come
gonna
here,
get
little
sued for?
pyros.
Are we gonna get sued for defaming Smokey the
Smokey
Bear?
the Bear.
Not if he actually carries this. Isn't that the difference between legal and illegal slander or something like that?
So fun fact, there was an actual Smokey the Bear from New Mexico that I believe Roosevelt refused to shoot, and then became like a ward of the Game and Fish Department, and then they decided to just abuse his likeness and image.
He signed over those likeness rights before. Like it was like Motown and Berry Gordy back in the day. Same sort of deal.
Did the real one carry whatever tool this is? Because that would be a real plot twist.
A pyro disposal.
Most importantly,
tool.
did he wear the hat?
I mean, you could probably put a hat on him. I think he was injured. So
Must be taxidermied somewhere, right? I'm sure he wears a hat now.
I mean, probably. Why wouldn't you put a hat on a stuffed bear?
Yeah. Well, if we don't know, should we try to get at this from like?
I'm gonna say
dispose of a body.
I'm gonna say it's a shovel. I think he carries a shovel in order to tamp out fires.
Yes, shovel is also what I think.
In order to tamp
murder
out
people.
fires as well as the people who make them.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be equally effective at both.
I was
That
thinking
sounds
about
good.
it'd be cuter if he carried a hoe. And I was gonna say an HOE, but they're all in HOE. They would have to be really tiny pyros.
Well, it does say little, so
Isn't a hoe just a little shovel?
no.
Yeah.
No, it's
Are you
sort
sure
of
you're
at a
not
right
confused
angle.
with Smokey from Friday?
Oh, yeah. Okay, but see, here's the thing. We're not in my wheelhouse. You asked about gardening. Or no, I don't know.
Well,
something like
that's
this.
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear
I
and his
think it's
wonderful garden.
Smokey the Gardener. Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
if he's disposing pyros, he's got great fertilizer.
I am hearing though from our producer that the original Smokey the Bear carried a bucket of water and therefore was probably less menacing than this one.
Takes a lot more work to dispose of a little pyro with a bucket of water.
It's
Hold him
doable,
down
but
for
it takes
longer.
more effort.
Yeah.
What is your
Oh.
answer?
Well, let's go with the shovel, aka giant hoe.
It is a giant hoe.
There we go. Also, our producer is also telling us that the Smokey the Bear story and the teddy bear story. Eric told us the teddy bear story, which is different from the Smokey the Bear story.
I was incorrect?
Yes.
That can't technically be right.
Technically,
Technically, you were incorrect.
you weren't technically incorrect. You were just straight up incorrect.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Eric. That's for later. You can be technically incorrect later. Right now, we're still trying to be technically correct.
Stay tuned and find
It would
out.
have been a great lie for the next round.
It absolutely.
Right.
He's just warming up. That's what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, we know if he says Smokey the Bear later. He's not
There's
telling
just
the
so many bears in New Mexico.
I don't know if that's true
AJ,
either.
I'm friends
before
with a
Eric
lot of
gives
them.
away all of his jokes, let's do question 3.
Question number 3. Later revealed to be a toy submarine, the 1934 surgeon's photograph supposedly depicts what?
Oh, this has got to be like, those early, fake fairy things, but I suspect this one's not a fairy. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
It's like a
about.
water fairy. Yeah.
I'm picking up
Yeah.
what you're putting down.
Yes, because it's the same period of time with the fairies and with the fake prehistoric people and
Loch
right?
Ness monster. And
Yeah,
all
which
of those
and
manipulated photographs.
or blurry and indistinguishable.
Bigfoot
So
coming out of the woods.
manipulated photographs is sort of like Photoshop for
Sure, okay.
the 20s and 30s.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, we got so far in without making fun of Nine for being very young.
I was just waiting for the moment.
Right? Yeah.
We had to.
I'm 28 years old. We did. We could have done it in Blue's Clues too. Like Blue's Clues was earlier. I was ready for that one, but didn't come.
Was it before your time?
Blue's Clues? No, I watched Blue's Clues. Yeah. With Joe, right? No, I watched Steve. I watched
Oh.
Steve. Don't worry.
That would really be a giveaway if it was the
Yeah.
late day. Blue's Clues.
Steve Burns from Blue's Clues. But yeah.
Okay, so I've never heard of this surgeon's photograph, but I like Leah's train of thought here that it's like one of those weird conspiracy things.
I think Eric may have even mentioned the one that I think this one might be. 'Cause,
Yeah,
it's
also
underwater,
think-
so yeah.
It's like a little thing, and then there's a thing poking out, and then it looks kind of like a neck,
And then there's another thing
and there's another
You're
thing.
So
right
great at
next to the thing.
descriptions.
There's a thing next to the thing, and it's in a lake.
I think the worst part is
I feel like
exactly
you're
what you
describing
said
the
entire
original
time.
Friday the 13th.
Sorry, that one is before my time.
So Eric, I'll let you do the honors. What is
Loch
our
Ness
answer?
Monster.
It is the Loch Ness Monster.
Hey.
Nessie. I've been to that place where the Loch Ness monster supposedly exists.
Loch Ness.
Loch Ness.
Inverness, Scotland. No, but there's like a town, guys.
Sure.
It was too obvious to say Loch Ness. Man, I feel like I'm getting a lot of heat today for my quizzical blind spots. I don't know if I can handle this.
So I wonder if it's sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's known as the surgeon's photograph because if you put a high profile or high ranking name in front of it, it sounds more realistic.
down.
Or is it because they
yeah.
doctored the photo?
That could be it too, but because the I don't know, the pig farmer's apprentice's photograph doesn't quite sound as credible,
to-
I think.
Class it up just a little bit. AJ, can we get a question that I actually know the answer to?
Okay, sure thing. Kanye West had to sue in 2014 to shut down a joke cryptocurrency with what guessable name?
Donda. Sorry, I did.
Oh,
do that
that's his
first.
mom, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's also the new album that's not out yet,
Yeah. No, that's his mom.
but I'm
Who
sure it's
died.
named after his mom. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know a lot about Kanye West. I know a little bit about Kanye West. But that's logical that they name an album after his mom. He does love his mom. He's a good son, among other things.
Yeah. It was very emotionally hard for him when his mom died. That's part of the Kanye lore. So, what do we associate with Kanye?
What don't we
808s and
associate with
heartbreaks.
Kanye?
My Beautiful Dark
Um,
Twisted Fantasy, Graduation, College Dropout. I'm just
Hubris?
naming Kanye albums
What
now.
you
Why do I
know
so
about
many
College
Kanye
Dropped
albums?
Out?
I've listened to College Dropout.
Oh, we found out that Kanye is currently living in the Atlanta Hawks Stadium.
Atlanta
And if
Falcons. He's
you
in the
had
Mercedes-Benz Dome.
If you had watched our recently and stuff on YouTube last Friday, you would have already known that. So you should
Yep,
follow
he's living
us.
at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the Atlanta Falcons play. The Hawks basketball.
Oh, Falcons. It sounds more fun to live in
Falcons,
a football
Hawks.
stadium, right?
Falcons, as Andale. Yeah.
We're just gonna call it Bird Stadium.
The birds.
Just we'll cover all
The bird is the word.
Well, there are bird stadiums. There's the bird nest in, a former Olympic place.
There's Orioles Park at Camden Yards.
I want to call it like Jeezy coin or something like Dogecoin.
Well, I think it would be Yeezy coin. That's what I would guess because he's Yeezy.
That sounds very plausible.
I mean, if that's your guessable choice, it might be the correct.
I feel like that's the
name.
most guessable.
No, I think I know what it is, you guys.
What?
It's worse than that.
Uh-oh.
Coinye.
Coinye! Oh man, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like buried back here. All right. Are we okay with that, or do we go with something else?
If,
You know,
if
not
it's
a
not
like
right,
with
it
that,
should
but-
Coinye
be.
is so much better than Yeezy
It
coin.
gets-
Yeah.
If it's not right, it should be vote.
Coinye is wrong. We don't want to be right. AJ,
Yeah.
what's up?
Oh, it's a shame that it's not technically incorrect yet, because you would have gotten a point for that, Nicole. It is Coinye.
Nice.
My fake answer was good too. And with that, it's time for our first ad break. See you back in a few. Hey, we're back with the rest of our technically correct round. Remember to try and be as funny as us in the chat. Just don't shut out the answers. I came back with my a little bit of a help from a colleague. This is Dwayne the Rock Dogson, aka Rocky. He's going to maybe help us with some questions this round. Hopefully they're in his wheelhouse, if not in mine. AJ, what's our next question?
Our next question. If you're giving someone a pressed ham, you're squeezing your bare butt up against what?
Theirs.
I feel like this is like a question that you would have gotten in one of those like old timey game shows. Like this is like a making whoopee type reference.
If you're giving someone a pressed ham, you're squeezing your bare butt up against what?
Tell them what they've won. Yeah. I'll press ham.
Ooh. Do we have any plausible answers?
I'm trying to keep it not NC-17.
Do you have any R-rated answers?
Could it be? Now, here's a thing that I've heard of: a Xerox machine.
It's kind of like a scanner, only
Yeah,
on
old
its
timey.
own.
Sure. Yeah.
Naim, I feel like you're like doing the reverse of "Hey, fellow kids." Back in your day,
I'm three children in a trench coat. Yeah. I'm Vincent
isn't there,
Adultman.
a machine, the Xerox.
I'm trying to think of a good steamed ham Simpsons reference.
Yeah, me too. I was trying to think of one too.
It's just not.
It's more of a Utica
The
thing.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
got to be some kind of glass product. So it's either a window or a mirror. What do you think sounds more rude?
Well, I would think a window, right? A mirror would be for yourself.
One-way mirror.
Yeah. One-way mirror. Maybe a car window would be extra, like a traveling pressed ham.
Yeah.
60-mile-an-hour pressed
too
ham.
kosher for this question. I don't know.
Yeah, hams aren't halal
claiming
either.
a
So yeah, this is
religious
the useless side.
exemption.
I like Xerox.
Xerox.
I think
Leo,
window actually is probably what I would go with.
Rocky, what do you think? He's not
He says
participating.
he'd like to eat some ham, please.
Said ham. I feel like window is also more plausible. So let's go with that.
It is a window.
Yay!
I mean, there's glass on the Xerox machine.
Yes, there is.
It's not quite a window though. I don't
No.
think so.
It's a window to your butt, apparently.
The gift that keeps on giving till the toner runs out.
All right, let's find a question that's less offensive to Eric Cohen's people. AJ, what do you have for us?
One moment, my PowerPoint just decided to crash on me.
Then
It's
I'll
just so
take this
easy.
opportunity to steal a joke from the chat. 60-mile-an-hour pressed ham was my NoFX cover band.
Ooh, that's good.
Good, solid.
All right, your next question. He's 55 feet tall, sells peas, and lives by a highway in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Who's that?
I think contractually you're obligated to say Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Is Blue Earth, Minnesota a real place?
I mean, Minnesota Blue Earth is definitely a real place. Yeah.
The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota is a real thing.
That's true. I learned about it from the Weird Al song.
I feel like someone's shouting out the answers in the chat. Oh,
I mean,
a producer.
They're shouting out an answer.
Yes, Eric Cohen.
I feel like I know. I feel it's got to be Paul Bunyan, right?
What's with the peas though?
No? I don't know. Maybe he retired. He's a pea farmer.
Well,
It's Johnny Pea Seed.
well, it's more 20th century trivia, I think. So it's from that period of time when every single brand had some cartoonification attached to it. So
Is it the Green Giant?
probably.
Boom, 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 boom. Our producer has said that Blue Earth is a city in Faribault County, Minnesota, at the confluence of the east and west branches of the Blue Earth River. And the name Blue Earth is translation of the Dakota Indian word makato, meaning greenish blue earth.
So teal.
Teal.
Teal earth.
They just didn't have teal.
They didn't have the word teal. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Or they did, and we translated it really badly.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have a word for teal. We just, decided not to use it, apparently.
We got a sick burn against Nime in the chat. 20th century trivia. Can't be Nime.
Now, I personally know Jack, and he is 4 years younger than me.
Hey, Jack.
Doesn't mean he's wrong.
So he's
fair
four children in a trench coat.
Yeah. Jack does know Jose, Diana asked in our chat. Yeah, so I think it is the Jolly Green Giant.
Who's actually the teal giant. Yeah.
Jolly Teal Giant, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so AJ, we're gonna go with the artist formerly known as Teal Giant, aka Green Giant.
It is the Jolly Green Giant.
Yay.
Yay, that almost felt anticlimactic a little bit.
Oh, well, for a minute I thought I might be wrong, and I thought that it might be Paul Bunyan. So here we are. All right, let's do another question.
Speaking of Nime's wheelhouse, Fighting the Good Fight, the cheesy 80s TV series Airwolf, starred what kind of vehicle?
A wolf.
That's not a vehicle.
Can be. You
Well,
can
since
ride it,
it's-
can't you?
Since it's in the 80s, probably a talking one.
Yeah, it's a
Talking
talking wolf
vehicle.
that can fly. I'd watch that TV show, wouldn't you?
I really would. Yeah, I have to admit.
Airwolves are my second favorite D&D villain, next to dire wolves.
Even know what any of those words meant.
Avatar: The Last Airwolf is my favorite Nickelodeon show.
Is it Knight Rider?
Well, that
Knight Rider was a
Rider had a
car.
car.
The Knight Industries 2000,
Well-
voiced by William Daniels, who also played Mr. Feeney on Boy Meets World.
Oh, Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney is
That
the voice
Nick
of
at Night
You
education has
have-
done you
I
well.
never noticed.
Boy Meets World. I watched while it was live, and in fact, before we went live, I was watching Boy Meets World on Disney Plus.
I can't believe we've gone 30 seconds talking about Knight Rider and not mentioned David Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Zardu Hasselfrau.
I'm sorry, David.
Listen, if the show is being in Germany, it would be all David Hasselhoff questions all
Yeah.
the time.
Okay, well, now that I've been schooled on Knight Rider, has anyone seen the TV series Airwolf?
Yes.
I assume Cohen owns the DVD box set.
Do you?
I feel seen right now.
I
The
somehow
helicopter.
made it through the 80s without seeing a single episode. So,
But did
leaning
you know
on
it was a
Eric right
thing?
now. Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. This
got
is
like a- it's
almost
got like
as
a-
good as Super Train.
Sick theme song, right? It's got like a sick synth theme song.
Oh yeah.
Well, they all did.
Everything is.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But like
Exactly.
Airwolf specifically, not as sick as Knight Rider's theme song.
AJ, can you pull up the Airwolf theme song? There is no way we're going to get busted for copyright.
No, not at all. We will not get any sort of copyright strike on that at
Can
all.
you guys give it to us a cappella?
I'm going to go with
I-
helicopter.
That would be my guess. So if
Oh.
you're saying yes, then yes.
Thanks, people who remember the 80s better. We're gonna go with helicopter.
It was a helicopter. Fun fact, I had an Airwolf jacket as a child.
Oh, so you are among
I
the
need a
people who
photo
remember
of
the 80s
that.
better.
None
For your
exist, thank God.
But do you still have the jacket?
No. It would be way too small on my fat ass now.
Doesn't mean
Are
you
there,
can't have the
are there
jacket.
pictures?
No, there's no pictures.
There are no pictures,
So
sadly.
sad.
Well, then it didn't happen. You know what the rules of the internet are.
Guys, that's got to be our Christmas present to AJ this year. We got to get him a new full-size Airwolf jacket.
All right, let's note it
I'm
down.
all
Start
for
cool
that.
now.
I am all for that.
We'll bring you on camera if we make it to Christmas. AJ, can we have one more question?
Your last question of this round. Oasis named their Wonderwall album after the work of what Beatle who called their music rubbish?
I know the name of the album.
So I have it narrowed
Right?
down to 4.
So it's
Yeah. Listen, you think Ringo's going to call anything rubbish? I love Ringo, but he's all about the peace and love. So we've narrowed it down to 3.
I also feel like if you're Ringo, like how much latitude do you have to be out here in these streets?
He's the best. Ringo's the best, and I will die on this hill. Ringo's my favorite Beatle.
No, it's not personally. It's just like the fame.
So actually, this person also had to be alive. So
Yeah.
I think we've got it narrowed down to 2.
To 2. Yeah.
not
This suddenly
John Lennon.
became a 50-50 question.
Suddenly.
Mm.
The album is What's the Story Morning Glory, right?
That's what I thought.
Know that much.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, but that doesn't help.
I mean, it might. I don't know. They named it after the work of one of the Beatles. So is Morning Glory something a Beatle did?
So when exactly did George die?
2001, September.
Okay, so
Oh, so we've only got it narrowed down to 3,
No, we know it's not Ringo.
but not because he was dead.
No, not because he was dead, because he's too nice.
because he was nice.
It's got to be Paul or George.
I feel like George wouldn't disparage it that much.
I feel like he might.
He was famously the nice one.
So was Ringo, though.
Well, they can't
I mean,
both be the
famously
nice
not
one.
Ringo.
Can't both be the nice one.
No, they can't both
Yeah.
be the nice one.
And Ringo was famously the nice one.
I think
George
we're-
quit
I
the
think we've
band.
got
Ringo
a
didn't.
conflict here. Who's the nice one?
I feel
George
like
or
it-
Ringo?
either way, it might be Paul. I mean, I have nothing against Paul McCartney, I guess, except for that he has too much money. But like, it seems like he might be operating on pretense. That's all I'm saying.
I buy that. I
more
would
than
buy
Ringo
Paul.
or George.
By process elimination.
Yeah. Are we okay? Are we all good with it? Yes. All right. I guess we're gonna go with Paul.
Paul McCartney is absolutely wrong. It actually was George Harrison.
Oh.
The nice one, apparently.
The
The
not
nice
quite
one,
as nice as
Not
the
so
nice
nice
one.
one.
the less nice one. Well, also like by pretense, I think he's got more reasons to be pretentious than Paul.
Oh, I think it's reasonable. It's a reasonable guess.
Yeah. Well, we did okay. We just missed that last one, but I think we'll survive. So that does it for our first round. But the real fun starts after this break. That's when we stop being all kumbaya and start messing with each other in the round we call technically incorrect. Stay right here. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically for our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drank pub quizzes in bars across America just about every night, and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. We also have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can even book us to do a private quiz virtually or in person. For details on that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com and follow us on the socials. Now for Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but there's no more teamwork. Everyone is in it for themselves. We'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat, and we will throw them into the mix. At the end of the timer, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right. By which I mean we panelists will do that. You audience people get to keep your wrongness in private, jerks. AJ, start us off.
Our first question for this round. In 2013, the iron got bumped off the Monopoly board in favor of what animal?
I blame Nime for this.
That's fair.
Kids these days.
Yeah, listen, it doesn't look like an iron. What's a thimble? What is that? Like, what cars don't look like that? What are the other ones? They added a money bag.
No
They
one
added a
else
money bag
thinks
when
any
I
of
was
the
a kid
others.
in like 2000 or 01. Oh, the shoe. Give me an Air Jordan.
You know what, this old-timey shoe?
Old timey shoe.
So you know
This game of Monopoly is really missing some coinye on there.
You know what, this needs? Crypto.
Mm. So what was moderately popular at about that time was that badger mushroom snake.
Oh,
It's a snake!
Okay, so badger or snake.
I think that video is from pre-YouTube, so I think it's like 04 or 05.
But you know what was popular at this time, I think? What does the fox say?
Oh, that might have been, yeah.
When was
You know, it was-
Harambe a thing?
Harambe was definitely after that. That was like 2016, 17. What was big around this time on the internet, still obviously big, but everything in 2013 was about bacon. Like everybody was talking about how great bacon is. Obviously, Cohen and I don't eat bacon, so we don't get it. But I'm going with, I guess,
on the screen. Can we fist bump each other? Just
Up and down.
There we go.
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So yes, I'm going the pig, the least kosher and least halal of all the animals.
So I know there's a dog, and I don't know when the dog was introduced, but I might go with dog because, like, I know there's a dog, but I don't remember where it came from. So, all right, I think we get answer time.
The other thing that was really popular.
Cat, eagle! Eric, can you tell where you went wrong there?
I should have put falcon.
It was
Hawk.
a cat.
Airwolf, damn it!
I didn't know it was a cat. I just knew there was a dog, and that the dog was from when I was a child. So I thought like cat is plausible. But I've also learned in the chat from our producer that the current tokens include all kinds of bananas shit, including ducky, T-Rex, penguin, and they were added to the doggy, the top hat, the race car, the ship, and the cat.
I want to play with a penguin.
The penguin is pretty boss. That sounds great.
When I
T-Rex
think
sounds
of
fun too.
playing a board game that disenfranchises poor people by pricing them out of real estate, I think of using a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Well, Monopoly was initially anti-capitalist, and then Parker Brothers decided to be like, oh, no.
I only
But isn't
played.
it more fun to actually be rich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
I only
fact,
play
Jurassic
Star
Park came out the year I was
Wars
born.
Monopoly.
That
Apparently,
wasn't a fun fact at all, Naim.
I have Pokemon Monopoly. Jurassic Park was the number one movie of the year I was born, in fact.
I have
apparently the
Christian
most
school.
fun
Good flick.
Oh, go ahead, Leah.
the most fun income is something like $120,000 a year. Like that, like there's research on what who's happiest on the basis of income. So it's wealthy but not, affluent but not, pooping money wealthy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So CEO of Geeks Who Drink Money.
Don't put their business out there like that. I was gonna say I went to religious school, so I grew up playing Bibleopoly, which square that with your capitalism.
I'm sure Shalomopoly is a thing.
It's gotta be.
If not, it should be.
AJ, what's our next
They're all
question?
a thing.
Our next question. Girls rule, women are funny, get over it. So said the New York Times in reviewing what 2016 film?
It's too early for that.
I thought
It's
it was
too
gonna
late
be
for
boys
that.
drool. The girls rule. I was ready to write down boys drool.
I know. Oh, I know. Plays drool. Yeah.
Eric Cohen, what do you think?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what movies came out in 2016. When was Avatar? That was
2009.
Much older.
2009. All right. Sigourney Weaver was hilarious in that movie.
Not as funny as she was in Galaxy Quest, though. Galaxy Quest, great movie.
Galaxy Quest is a good movie.
Yeah. Just, apropos of nothing. Watch Galaxy Quest.
So I think I know because I remember going to see Girls Trip around this time, which was funny. Also, it had an all-star cast of underrated Black women. So
Yeah, Tiffany
maybe it's that one.
Haddish.
Yeah. Sanaa Lathan.
Who's the lead though? Who was the obviously
Nia
as an ensemble,
Long?
but
No, oh my God. Who do I remember who's in that movie anymore? No, I don't.
was it not who plays Cookie on Empire? Was she not in that movie? I thought she was.
Taraji P. Henson.
Taraji P. Henson. Was Taraji P.
Yes.
Henson not in Girls Trip?
I think she was.
I think she was.
I just don't remember who's in movies. So let's look it up later. Leah, what do you think?
Well, I think this is. Oh no, I'm still struggling with the when did anything come out, question, and I feel like Ghostbusters is too late, and
Really? You think it's too
I don't
late?
even know it. That's where that's
Bad
what
Moms.
I'm struggling with.
Regina Hall, who is not Regina King, as we've learned.
It
in
was
the
Jada
chat.
Pinkett Smith, not Taraji P. Henson. She
Oh
was
my
in another movie around
God,
that time.
we're
Oh no,
so
she was in Hidden
bad.
Figures. That's what I was thinking of.
All right.
Queen
what is it,
Latifah,
guys?
who's in everything good.
Bridesmaids, Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters.
Wait,
I
bam.
find it hilarious that the women got this wrong and the men got it right. It was the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Man, I was
Bridesmaids, I
worried
wanna
you were
say
gonna
was
say it was
20.
like X-Men Apocalypse or something.
I think Bridesmaids was 2010, and I think Girls Trip was 2017 or 2018.
I knew it was 2017 because I went to see it in the movie theater in 2017.
I was working at the theater at the time, so I'm like, it couldn't have been 2016.
Yeah, that was rough. I knew Bridesmaids was wrong, but I couldn't imagine what else it was. But someone said
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Anyway,
I said Ghostbusters because I thought it was wrong.
Well, you got me really worried when you said that.
I was certain it was correct. So I was like,
See,
oh, I
this
wonder if
is
that's going to
our-
throw anybody else off the trail.
We're playing the long game here. So
this is the
There's a-
successful
this is a
iteration of
bluff to the bluff.
technically incorrect.
And
Layers
AJ,
upon layers.
what's our next question?
Our next question. In a popular role-playing game subtitled The Masquerade, you play what generic type of monster?
This is not my jam. Naim, is this your jam?
I swear I know the answer to this, but I legitimately can't think of it. So, generic monsters. I mean, there's dragons. There's like Bigfoots, Yetis,
Dire
Bigfoot.
wolves,
Airwolves.
airwolves.
Airwolves, direwolves,
Night Riders?
Night Riders.
talking cars.
So I'm going Airwolf.
Leah, maybe you will accidentally give us the right answer again. What do you think?
It's always a possibility. Is Loch Ness a generic monster, or is he or she, unique to him or herself?
I believe Nessie is generally believed to be female, but we're not sure.
And is the masquerade a hint? So is it some kind of monster that disguises itself as something else? Ooh.
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 I feel like you can't say the masquerade without.
From now on, we won't. The masquerade.
Masquerade.
This is a proto-voguing hour. A generic type of monster. So like a werewolf?
That's pretty generic. Yeah. Werewolves, vampires, ghosts, skeletons, goblins, ghouls,
Oh,
orcs,
ghosts.
ogres,
Poltergeists.
yeah.
Aren't those just fancy ghosts? Just
Yeah, I think
ghosts with
so.
more syllables?
I think poltergeists are a little bit more corporeal.
Mm.
Angry,
But I'm not
ghosts.
sure.
Angry ghosts.
Mm.
Poltergeists like have a body?
Maybe.
Well, or zombies. And, vampires are just fancy zombies.
But do zombies drink blood? I guess they do.
I mean, kind of. They eat flesh.
Eric, what do you think?
I was thinking it's Exalted, put out by White Wolf Publishing, a
What?
manufacturer of role-playing game systems since the 90s.
But that's not an answer. All right, put them up.
Vampire, vampire, werewolf, werewolf. It is, in fact, Vampire the Masquerade. White Wolf Publishing's quote-unquote classic role-playing game from the 90s. They did also, in the same World of Darkness universe, have Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Yep. And if you want a glimpse into what high school Eric was like, it was Dungeons and Dragons and Vampire the Masquerade.
Same.
The masquerade.
The masquerade.
The Masquerade.
I only went with vampire because I thought it was more generic than werewolf, but I'm glad that you were convinced. All right, I think we got one more question for right now. AJ, what is it?
Our last question before our next break. One of these 7 habits of highly effective people is to sharpen what metaphorical tool?
Pencil.
Is that metaphorical?
You're metaphorical pencil. You're not metaphorical pencil.
I think that since about 2002, most people who use pencils are using metaphorical ones. So, yeah.
So 7 habits of highly effective people. I don't like this. I've been forced to read it at other jobs before, and I don't care for it. Stephen Covey, who created it, it's all based off of Christian values and principles found in the Bible. It is actually the older editions were much more heavily about how it connects to faith and Christianity, and have been slowly edited over the years.
Also, wasn't he trying to sell us like day planners?
I think that came slightly later, but he did make some fucking good day planners. My
Hate that man, but his day
pilot went
planners
right
were
into
fire.
one side. It was perfect.
I had to read this in the 7th grade because we had to read like a lot of different genres. Like the point of the class was like to learn about writing in different genres. And this was like self-help. But I don't remember. Sharpen.
Also, it's bullshit because he made more books about more habits. There's more than 7, and they've never combined them into one edition.
Why isn't it the 25 habits?
It's a racket. Unless they want
Naim.
to sponsor us.
Naim, have you heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People?
I've definitely heard of it. I've not read it, so I don't know. The metaphorical sword of truth.
The sword of truth.
The metaphorical sword of truth. In your mind's eye.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense if it's biblical. All right. What are our answers, team?
The sword, the wit, the axe, and the mind. Out of all of those, none are correct. It was a saw.
Ah,
What do you do with the saw? What?
Also, like, how do you sharpen it? That seems difficult.
and dangerous.
Well, I'm glad that we were all wrong. We don't need that self-help. We can help ourselves. Thank you very much. Well, I think it's time to pay some bills. So we'll see you in a few after this little break. Welcome back to Technically Incorrect, the game where everyone tries to be right after everyone tries to be wrong. Remember, you should also try to psych us out in the chat. We're quite gullible. AJ, make with the questions.
Your next question. Introduced in 1943, what tiny kid-lit character visited Earth from asteroid 325?
A little green man kind of person.
The
Mork
opposite
from
of the
Orc.
green giant.
Oh yeah, the jolly green giants, asteroid friend, person, cousin thing.
Person cousin. Play cousin. Naim, you have most recently been exposed to Kid Lit, probably.
Sure. Fair.
What do you think?
I mean, I said Mork from Orc, but I know that's way too late. That's the 70s and also a television show and also Robin Williams. So can't be that. I do not recall any alien books. Truly have nothing. The Great Gazoo, but that was the Flintstones. I watched a lot of television as a kid.
Yeah, the Flintstones didn't come all that much later, right?
Yeah.
15 or 20 years at the most. So maybe they were inspired by something. So yeah, I mean, Hanna-Barbera couldn't possibly have gotten all of their ideas from scratch, right?
I love this idea that Hanna-Barbera was like, they were going, we need to bring something into the Flintstones. Hey, do you remember that book with that weird fucking alien?
Well, isn't that what the Jetsons is?
That basically is what the Jetsons is. Well, no, Jetsons is the Flintstones of the future, really,
Yeah.
with a maid.
Yeah.
Robot maid.
Because, we all
Robot
get
maid.
maids in the future.
Well, the
I
robot,
was
yeah.
promised maids and flying cars.
I mean, listen, if you get a Roomba, it's basically does the same thing as Rosie. It's just not as sassy.
But the sass is the point.
The sass is important. I don't disagree.
Yeah, it was
just
it was
strap an
also
Alexa
very
on top.
important that they made the robot maid thick too. Like,
So when somebody invents a Roomba with sass, they're just gonna make bank.
But it's
I'm
gotta
telling
be
you,
thick. Gotta be
Just
thick.
tape the Alexa on
Mhm.
top. You're good to go.
Answers.
Everybody's answers. Little Prince, my favorite Martian, Le Petit Prince. It is 3 points all around for everybody but Naim with the Little Prince.
Eric, why'd you have to be pretentious and put it in French? You're not better than us.
aren't
He
I?
read it in French.
AJ, what's our next question?
Our next question. A tiny town called Garrison is right across the Hudson from what famous post-secondary school?
Sounds very complicated.
Man, I feel I would have done a lot better on this question if I didn't drop out of college.
Yeah, what is post-secondary, Eric?
Oh, that's for the real smart people.
So the
I
CIA,
know.
the Culinary Institute of America, is up in that neck of the woods. Yeah, and so maybe I don't know, was there a chef, celebrity chef named Garrison? And it's in Poughkeepsie, so that's pretty close to the Hudson.
So
That feels. Go ahead.
yeah, so you think it's the CIA, but not the
I think it's
CIA.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, that's the link to. Okay, I get it. Yeah. So yeah, it's the CIA. They did it on purpose.
So I famously I graduated from the Ohio State University. But before that, I went to college at Bard College, which is up here in this pretty part of New York on the Hudson, in a town called Annandale on Hudson. But nobody would ever ask a question about Bard College, but they might ask a question about another thing near Poughkeepsie, which is Vassar.
I went to Vassar.
You went to Vassar?
I went to Ohio State. Yeah.
What? Leah. We need to talk more about thee at another time.
Yeah, we shall.
Naim, do you have other thoughts?
I mean, sure. New York is a place.
It's a hell of a town.
It's a hell of New York. New York. It's a hell of a town.
So nice. They named it twice.
Yeah.
Also, I went to Lake Placid and I drove back down to DC on Sunday, and I stopped to have lunch at a terrible Mexican restaurant in New Paltz. So it could be that.
The Mexican restaurant? Are we gonna drag a Mexican restaurant right now?
New Paltz.
Well known for being next to Garrison. Sure.
All right, put up your answers.
Oh.
I also went to
Eric.
Rutgers, by the way.
How many colleges did you go to?
Went to 3. I have 3 to, yeah, that you don't need to know my whole educational history.
It was West Point. That is points all around for everyone but Eric.
Rutgers is in New Jersey, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
New Jersey's near New York.
It is. It is near.
Some
I
people-
also have 3 degrees, but they're from only 2 places.
Yeah.
So you've got me beat.
I have 1 degree from 7 places.
What? AJ, what's our next question?
Our next question. A cenotaph differs from a tomb in that it's missing what kind of important thing?
Cenotaph.
So doesn't the taff part imply writing of some kind, or maybe the ceno part does? So like this is a blank tomb.
Hmm.
So we have no idea who's in there, it's just
The tomb of the unknown soldier.
here lies someone. you, you figure it out for yourself.
Eric Cohen, does your religious experience inform this answer?
No. I just go no. No.
My great uncle's grave is unmarked because certain readings of Islam. I'm not exactly sure, but basically his daughter, my aunt, was like, no, there's going to be an unmarked tomb. My grandfather's is marked, so when I visited, and they're nearby each other, so we're like, we think this is where he's buried, but yeah.
So
If you
it's
know
been
where it
passed
is,
down.
does it count as unmarked?
Well, we don't know exactly where
Oh.
it is. We know which
The vicinity.
cemetery it's in, and we know it's approximately this far from my grandfather's tomb, but we're not or grave, but we're not 100% sure.
So it's not, I mean, it is unmarked like on it apparently, but like the location has been passed down through the family oral tradition.
Well, sure. He also, I mean, he died like 5 years ago, so it's not
Oh.
like it's
Also-
not a lot of oral.
People remember.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be a roof. So you're
Or a
basically just like
lid.
in a lid. Yeah, you're just like in an open air pavilion.
So it's a tomb with a skylight.
There you go.
It's like
That's
it's like a,
luxury.
yeah. Maybe it's like a gazebo tomb where like it doesn't have any walls. It's just
Sunroof.
yeah.
All right, I think it's time for answers.
Adore, the body and the body. Door is wrong. It is missing the body.
Yeah.
What's a tomb without a body? That's just a fucking room.
Honestly,
It's a memorial.
It's a cenotaph. We just figured this part out.
Exactly what it is.
yeah. I mean, it's fair point.
Why?
Well, it's something you don't always have the body to bury. I get it. That makes sense.
Habeas corpus. This is America.
There's other places besides America, Nicole.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I didn't know. I was confused. I said words from the Constitution. That's what we do here. AJ, I think we got one more question.
It is our final question of the evening. The money for Charles Lindbergh's famous flight was ponied up by a racket club in what city?
Well, this sounds like a racket.
Doesn't that imply like Chicago?
The windbag city.
Corruption.
Corruption.
You can't fight City
Grand
Hall.
American tradition.
When was this Charles Lindbergh thing?
1920 something? 27? For some reason 27 pops out in my head, but I could be off by somewhere between 2 and 20 years.
So after the invention of airplanes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We have our starting point in the timeline here.
Not before 1900.
Yeah.
27. Oh, I was right.
Oh, 1927. Good
Well
job, Nan.
done.
So
Can we just make that the answer?
1920. Unfortunately,
Change
it's
the
not
questions to the answer
Now that we
1927 so that I
all
can
know it.
get the point there.
Sure, free point for everyone.
Can you imagine being Charles Lindbergh and being like, going down to your racket club, right? Like you're with your bros, and you're like, bros, I'm gonna go somewhere on a plane. This is a fundraiser. Give me your money.
Yeah.
And they did, and then he just like ran off with it, and like my knowledge of this story is like woefully inadequate. So he ran off with it.
I'm
and, like,
curious, where did this
stole a
money go
baby.
towards?
Hold on, wait.
What did the
I
It's
think
not like he
are
stopped
we
and
combining the
refueled.
Lindbergh baby with DB Cooper? Is that what's happening right now?
Well, we
What the-
combined Smokey the Bear with the teddy bear earlier,
That's
so why
true.
not?
Didn't he steal the baby? Isn't that right?
I think the
I think someone else stole his.
It was a long time ago. Okay. All right. Answers.
New York, Flushing Meadows, St. Louis. St. Louis, that's a point each for Eric and Nime. The correct
Spirit of
answer
St. Louis,
being
baby.
St. Louis.
Oh.
Lindbergh Road is a prominent road in St. Louis, Missouri. There's also Lindbergh High School. We love Lindbergh in St. Louis.
Okay. So you had insider knowledge. I literally know nothing about Charles Lindbergh except for something about a plane in the early 20th century. So I'm gonna go read up on that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Lindbergh, but I thought I'd take the tennis approach.
Nice.
I mean, there's a good
Yeah.
chance he probably took off from Queens or something.
I think he did take off from New York.
Yeah.
But the plane was called the Spirit of St. Louis.
There we go. Well, that's all the questions we have for this week. And we do have one thing for you to vote on after all, which is the winner of our show, the popularity contest. AJ's going to pop up a poll and you can choose the panelists who you thought did the best job tonight, whatever that means to you. But before then, there is one actual scientific quantifiable measurement available to us. AJ, who scored highest during the technically incorrect round?
In the technically incorrect round this evening, for the first time ever, Nime has 5 points, tied with Eric for also 5 points.
Fine with that. I'll take it.
Take it. Yeah.
Good
The
job.
the no pork side of the
Yeah.
You gained
I
your
actually
power
don't-
from your lack of bacon.
I
yeah.
actually don't eat pork either, but that's not anything exciting because I don't eat any of the other meats either.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, I do. And maybe that's my downfall.
So when we get that that big bacon sponsorship, we know who's going to be the spokesperson.
Holla at your girl. Well, there
Big
you go.
bacon.
Of course, you can choose a winner however you like by vegetarianism, religion, or your devotion to pork. Either way, we're going to find out who it is after one more itty bitty break. See you in a few. Okay, audience, remember the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and or by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, AJ, who is the winner of our popularity contest?
The winner this evening, according to vote, is Nime with 50%.
Nime,
I'm
have you
killing it
ever
today.
won? Have you ever won?
In the old version of the show,
Okay.
but not in this
Well,
version. So
Congratulations on winning in the new version.
yeah.
Well played. Thanks for watching as always, and make sure you come back next week to find out if Nime is still technically correct.
Technically correct, together forever. Technically correct, surviving the weather. Technically correct, birds of a feather, and I got a new obsession. Technically correct with you.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.